Aquarius. It's that time again. Except for this time, it is about conflicts in your relationships next month. Or actually, it's right around the corner next month. It's like a couple days, right? Anyhow, usual announcements, no gender, and there's also the fact that I would appreciate if you clicked a like and subscribe. And if you realize down the road that maybe I'm not the tarot reader that you want to keep in touch with all the time and see what I'm up to, you can always unsubscribe. I just appreciate the help up front for the first few months while I'm figuring this out, because I am doing this on my own with no help. I'm just trying to figure it out. The only thing I know how to do is read cards. And the rest of it I'm figuring out. So, I mean, I expect that I'm not going to be perfect, and probably not ever, because it's just not my personality to be perfect. I'm hoping to be funnier, though. Yeah. And please let me know if there's anything that you would like to see more of, less of, ideas you wish that a tarot reader would do. If you also connected with my story and you want to know a little more about clarification on something that has to do with you personally, I don't mind pulling an extra card for you if you want to talk in the comments. I'm happy to do it. I'd love to hear how you're connecting with this. And also, if this type of reading, if it works for you. And then there's some of you that might want to hit the dislike button. And while, it's a free country, you can do whatever you want. I won't understand, really, because I'm new. And if you don't put some constructive criticism, I won't know what to do. I welcome constructive criticism, even if it's like really like, oh my gosh, I can honestly say, I think you do a lot better if you did this and that and the other, and it's like almost nothing that I did right. As long as you word it in such a way that I know that it's coming from a place of not insulting and not being negative and mean, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you're really wanting to voice, your concerns and to speak up about something that you think is worthwhile. If you're mean or something like that, though, I won't be able to. I just don't. I have too much in my life to deal with, and that's like negativity. It's like an entity of its own, and that I gotta delete it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take it personal. I'm just going to see it as a reflection of the person who wrote it. So, but totally understand if that's what you got to do. But I don't see anything karmically good about doing something like that unless you give some constructive criticism. Personal preference is not something that should be liked or disliked. Some people think it's better to warm up and talk a little, and some people want to get right to the point. It all depends on the way your personal preference goes, because like there's many cultures here in our country and they all perceive things differently. So I can't please everybody. And this may not even be your story. I'd like to believe that since I'm usually locating like 3 different conflicts in these readings approximately, that at least one of them will be something you resonate with. But worst case, I'm reading for the people who need to hear it the most, as you know. So thumbs down because you're not relating to my reading wouldn't be appropriate either. Again, if there's something that's wrong, please give me some constructive criticism as opposed to harming me. I appreciate that, okay? I really do. And please do talk to me in the comments. I'm like super nice, and I'll believe the best as long as it's not obvious, okay? All right, thanks. Your overall energy. Ha! This just came up in the last reading in here, though. This is an interesting card because what I see here, Aquarius, is that you're looking at, in instead of looking at you in partnership, you're looking, even though you have some kind of partnership, there's two here, you're kind of focused on the one wand, and you're looking at the bigger picture, not just the sense of you in connection with another person. You're seeing the bigger picture, the world, which is very Aquarian. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's a very Aquarian thing to do. And look, you're here on the spread, and you have quite a bit of major arcana here. Wow, you are very powerful this July. Wow. Okay. All right, well, let's see what's going on. The Hermit is right side up. The Empress is upside down. The Four of Cups is upside down. Okay. This is about not about appreciating. Okay, it looks like you don't want, your person doesn't want to be someone who doesn't appreciate. I think your person wants, or maybe it's not even your person. This person that you're in conflict with, or there's some kind of conflict that we're talking about. It could be multiple persons in that case. But when I say person, I'm usually referring to that love relationship. But in this particular case, I meant, the person that is here on the table, possible conflict with. They don't want to ignore what you're offering. But it looks like that's kind of how they feel, but they're not outright just ignoring it. They're just like trying not to. And I think that you're in the Empress energy, but you've got this, you're not ready to bring something into being. I'm going to say this is looking like something you're doing at work or a project, and there are those involved that want to take time to assess the feasibility of what it is that you all are trying to do or create. You're the one that's not ready to bring it forth, though. And I'm going to look at some more of these cards, see if I can get a better story what's going on here. This looks like a reading about family here. Someone in your family wants to hold too tightly onto the resources. You want to take action and start putting your heart and soul into getting your family life in order and getting things better. There's someone in your family that is not seeing you the way you really are. I have a feeling here that you're ready to move on making sure that your family is in gear. And I don't see this so much as the family you may have created, but the family you grew up in. There's probably a lot of bickering over how resources get divvied, whether it's a will or who needs something the most during all this crisis. And you know, how to get the resources they need from family members. And someone in your family is disillusioned with you, perhaps because they need to see it that way. But this person is very intense and powerful. This could be the matriarch who's being judgmental to, because look, it's a wand. I mean, that you could also look at like a, you know, witches use wands and this and that and the other. This is power, you know, and I think that you might be having conflict with possibly your mother. Yeah, I think your mother, maybe, or whoever is in your life that has that role. I think, because sometimes it's chosen family, and so I don't want to assume who this person is, but I think that they would rather have you more in line, and they see that you're very powerful, and that is upsetting the apple cart, and that makes people in your family more miserly and want to hang on to what they have because they're afraid of you. But you know, you have that effect. You're a powerful person and you got all that air energy just like I do. So I kind of I can appreciate, you know, you get a wand in your hand and kaboom, air and fire, it's just like it's combustion, right? So I can see how your family could be, but I definitely think that it's a conflict of how your mother sees you. Even though this card represents your mom, in a lot of ways, it's how she sees you that she's being represented. I don't know. It's kind of like a king, so it could be the fatherly person, but I think it's siblings more likely, because siblings tend to want to secure their place in what they have within the family in terms of resources. Personally, I decided to let everybody have everything because I don't want to be part of that whole scenario, but Lord knows I have seen that my fair share. So, I've got a work-related thing or a project here. How is this a conflict if you're in the sunlight here? But someone is not coming towards you, and they're not going to bring their chest of goodies to win you over. Someone is being deceptive or holding back. It could be something, they're deliberately obscuring something from you, and they're not coming, but you are basking in the sunlight. I think you're confident that you know that this person, it's not in the upright position, but it's on the table. this person, you know this person's going to come towards you, but you're not needing to do anything to make that happen right away. You can enjoy the ride to that place. But why is this person not ready? Or okay, let me look at something here. Okay, I want to see some connections between all these things because I think there's more interconnectedness in this reading than some of them that were clear-cut pieces. I think that, you know, wow. Okay, so we have someone who isn't wanting to turn away from the cup, someone who isn't wanting to be miserly. And here's someone who doesn't want to be deceptive. You don't want to, you know, bring forth this project or situation. You're not ready to give it your full attention because you're busy dealing with family problems. And you are oblivious to the fact that you have relationship problems with your person. Okay, well then that sounds like something you need to focus. Okay, yeah, you know what? The overall energy, you're focused on what's going on in the world. And maybe your person recognizes that and they're not too keen. So they're not really proud to be deceptive, but they may be misleading you into a false sense of security. Sorry. But the thing is that what I like about this card is even though they're not coming towards you in the way that they may have misrepresented themselves, this card is on the table. I think that ultimately they will, but for some reason they're feeling a little jealous of your attachment to the other things in your life, and they don't realize that you are like totally happy with them, or that you see yourself as potentially being happy with them. So whereas, I mean, you know, and that's kind of your solace too, because really, if you think about it, you know, you've got to come out with all this energy to work on this nonsense, you know, in your family, but you love your family and, you know, you want to work it out. And this situation with the project or the job, has got me a little stumped. I mean, on one hand, you know, if it was in the upright, I'd say, well, you know, bully, everything is great and da 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 da. But you're not ready to be in that Empress position. You don't want to take on more than you're ready to do, and whoever's working with you doesn't want to take on that extra bit either, but they don't want to let you down. Aha, okay. If you could delegate, you probably would, but no one's signing up for that. And you've got people on this project that are needing to understand better what you're trying to do, and they're questioning your abilities. Okay. They're not looking at you for the light. They're looking into this lantern, trying to figure it out. They're not seeing you as what the, as you really are, actually, because you are the Empress, but they're having a hard time believing in you. And I think it's because you may not be ready, but you know it's wise, and you have your reasons. And it may just be because you have some other things you need to focus on. And if you have a split focus, then whatever you're working on, I think it's project oriented. Whether you're in a corporate environment or an artist, it's project oriented. Okay. Yeah, I would say don't delegate to this person to solve your problems, because they're not too keen on that. Beware of the people who are looking to take you off the throne. They're not too keen, and they'll look for any weakness as a sign of something that they can use against you. I'm not real thrilled to see the Hermit in the position of your coworkers, because that's how I'm seeing them, in that particular way. And in terms of your family, getting in a state of acceptance over people like this, because what are you going to do? I mean, honestly, I don't know that it's worth competing for resources. You can control your own life and your own destiny by making your own way anyway. I'm not saying it's fair, but you have to pick and choose your battles, right? So, okay. And then I don't think you have too much to worry about here. I think it's just that for now they're being deceptive, but in the overall sense of things, I think they do want to come through. So your sense of joy here is not totally false. You haven't been duped. This person has just misled you a little bit, but not because they don't want to be here. Okay, let's see what the spirit guides have to say. Fragmentation. I've gotten this a couple times tonight. Yeah, you're fragmented. All right. You've got your iron and this fire that you're not ready to do. You got this iron and this fire that you're trying to go and fix all these things and make magic. And you're also in this situation, and in order to maintain it, you have to constantly give. You've got a little bit, you're biting off a little more than you can chew, but I think it's all manageable. All right, Aquarius, I hope that resonated for you. I am kind of happy for you here, because I don't think this is a long-term card. I think that that is ultimately where you're going with your person there, and they really want to give you everything. So this is fab. Don't worry too much about any deception. It was done for maybe not the right reasons, but sometimes for lack of having a chess move, people rely on deception. As long as it was just a temporary state, you're okay. And you're so powerful in the family situation. You're gonna make that work for you. This here gives me a little pause, but yeah, I think this is the one that I'd be most concerned with. These people who are trying to reinvent the wheel against you is what I'm seeing, and just to be careful that you've got your eye on too much of the big picture, and you may need to focus on the little bit parts. Okay. All right, that's your reading. Wow, yours is a little bit more of a relief than some of them that I've read. All right, till next time, Aquarius. I can't wait to read about your person in the next series, okay? All right. And I'll get a clicker so we don't have to keep going through this.